Hi there and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be swatching out these Currents watercolors that I was gifted by the dear sweet Sandy from Color Creatively. I will add a link to her channel beneath in the more information. I've swatched them on here, but I thought I'd just try them out so that you can see them with me. I've unboxed them all, or unwrapped them all now, and then when I've done that, I'm going to be doing a little painting with some of the blue. I want to do a darkish night sky, and then just do a silhouette on that. So I thought, if that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll stay with me and enjoy watching. It will be a nice easy watercolor for you to follow along with if you'd like to. So to swatch these out, I've just wet them, and I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush for this because I'm not going to make huge swatches. And we're starting with number 133, which is Seaside. And when I do watercolor, I like to use the full pigment, the sort of richly like that, and then add water to my brush and just see how it moves down. I really love these paints. They're by Prima marketing. I don't know if they classed as professional or not, but if they're not, they're really nice paints. Here we have Blue Whale. So I think you saw me spraying this. This might be the color that I'm going to use. I'm not sure. I think I might take a brighter blue for my sky. Then we have Ocean. What a lovely color that is. And you can see how they move with the water. Then Turkish Sea, this beautiful green color, like a viridian color. Look how nicely that moves. Jellyfish. We've just come from the ocean right now. This is the kind of color I'm wanting to use in my sky, I think, just now. That's a bit too much water. A real puddle. And Caribbean Sea. For Veronique, who lives in the Caribbean, does the sea look anything like this color? I'd love to know. Okay, next we have a color called Kelp. They are very vibrant and not at all chalky. This was Happy Mail in August from Sandy. I thought I would get to it before now, but seagrass. Having been away for a week, it's been busy. I can't believe Christmas is just around the corner. Oh, I'm excited for Christmas. And this is now Sea Green. It's interesting in this Oceans pack just how many greens there are. Then we have Algae, which is kind of a lime green color, or a swampy color. And Deep Sea. When we were staying near right on the ocean actually. And when it was cloudy, it was so interesting to see the different colors that the ocean goes to. I love the way it moves down. And then Blue Fin. So now in my mind it's either this blue fin, or this is lovely. This is like a phthalo blue. So it's either this one or jelly or jellyfish that I'm going to, I think I'm going to use blue fin for the painting I want to do. So I have, this is cardi paper, it's a rag paper, so it's cotton. I'm using, this is just a clipboard thing, you know, that you have for paper, and my grandchildren use it, and I like it because it has this little thingy which stands, so it's at a slight angle, which allows the water to run. And I'm going to use some masking tape to fasten it to this. Then I'm going to fasten it down quite hard. This is artist's masking tape, which is not supposed to be as sticky. I just always worry it's not going to give me a clean enough edge, or that it won't stick down properly here. So I'm using a small piece of paper because I didn't want this painting to take the rest of the afternoon. I wanted to just have a pretty little miniature that I could, if it looks nice, either put on the front of a card, or I could put it in a little frame and give it as a small gift to somebody, possibly. Always a bit, I think my stuff is good enough to give away, but one needs to have a little bit more self-confidence in yourself, I think. But still, on a card is always nice. So there we are. And I just want to make sure this is down. So now the tools that you're going to need are your watercolor paper, and it does need to be watercolor paper, a vessel of clean water. I have two vessels, one for clean water and one for mixing. I've left my paintbrush in there, which is a very bad habit I have. Need to take it out and dry it. Very bad to leave your brush in the water like that. And then you need some kind of a nice blue watercolor, and then I'm using gouache as well. So I'm going to be using a black gouache and a white gouache. I have very inexpensive gouache by Reeves. Any kind of gouache will do. This is just going to be there. And then your paintbrush and a paper towel. So I'm probably going to be using I'm going to be using a big brush. This is a 1 inch or a ½ inch. I think it's a 1 inch brush. And then I'm probably going to be using this Craftamo number 7. Also got the number 3, and I've got my little size 2 as well, just in case I need them. And then I have a micron pen. Any black pen. We're going to do it after the paint is dry, so it doesn't have to be waterproof. All right, so now we're ready, and we're going to use the clean water, wet our brush. And like I showed you in the previous coloring with watercolors in coloring books, to do wet on wet, we're just going to be wetting the entire page with water. And I want it to be wet, but not puddly. There we are. Move that to the side, and I want to just dry the edges here because I don't really want it to. So now you can see where it shines, but it has some puddles, so I'm going to leave it for a few seconds so those can so that the puddles can soak in a little bit. I don't want puddles. I just want it to be glistening. I'm not sure if you could see the puddles that were running, but it's wanted to go up that way a bit. And I'm just waiting. And now I don't know if you can see, but it's nicely shiny all over, but it doesn't have puddles. So now I'm going to be using this number 7 brush, and I'm going to, what color did I decide? I wanted this one here, blue fin. I'm going to go in with quite a rich amount, and I want to have the look of clouds, so I'm going to leave a bit of white here and there. To give this night sky. We're just covering the whole thing with this lovely blue. And I want the top to be particularly dark, so I'm going over that again. And because I want the top to be particularly dark, I think I'm going to use a little bit of this deep sea as well at the top, which is like an indigo. All right, and now with that done, I want to preserve these white bits. So I'm cleaning my brush, and then I want it to be really clean. And then I clean it off on my paper towel so that there's no blue showing there. I've got some more white clean water there, and I'm completely sure it's clean. And then I'm going to go over this white bit, and I'm going to wipe it off again and create another white bit, because that's already spread, which I didn't want. I'm taking too long. So I want these to be there for the clouds. Just going over them and drying the brush. And you see how quickly it's filling that in. There's a nice cloud there. As it dries, it spreads less, but oops. There we are. I just want to fill in the edges here, and then I'm going to leave that to dry. We have a bit of cloud there. I really wanted this bit here to be clean. Because I want to make a moon going behind that cloud. Alright, so now this has to dry. You could take it to your hairdryer to dry, or leave it to dry naturally. I'll just see the brush is completely clean. So I'm just going to move this closer to you so you can see what it looks like so long, and this must dry now. So now we're going to do a moon, and I kind of wanted the moon behind the clouds, so I think I'm going to put the moon over here. This is dried. I hope it's dry enough. And I'm going to use white gouache for that. So I've got it in a tube, just using an old saucer. There are little bits, that is white gouache, but I want to use the wet white gouache, so I'm going to just squeeze it next. No, that's actually got a bit of red on it. So I'm squeezing that out there, and then I want it to be fairly thick, and we need clean water for this, and we need to make sure that our brush is completely clean because we don't want to spoil our little moon. So this is clean. I'm going to just get some of this white gouache on my brush and make a little half circle here. And fill this in. Whoopsie. And then at the other side of this bit of cloud, we're going to fill the other side of the bit of the moon. There's a gorgeous jazz song called Back of the Moon. Back of the Moon. I wish that there were not so many copyright issues because I could play it for you guys, but then I get a strike against my name on YouTube. Back of the moon, back of the moon. It's a really nice song. Okay, so let me get that in properly with some clean edges. Try to make sure that's a circle. There we are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rinse our brush, have it slightly dry but not very dry, and gently smudge the edges here so that we've got that bit of cloud. Again, smudging the edges there so that we've got the feeling of the cloud going in front of the moon. There we are. All right, I think that's quite cute. Now we're going to make some, we're going to get some black gouache onto our saucer. Again, I've got the tube. Gouache is like watercolor, but it's opaque. You can, the more water you add to it, the less opaque it is, but it can cover things up which watercolor can't. Can you see how pale this has become as it's dried? So now I want a slightly bigger brush, so I'm going to use my size 7, which I'm just wetting and then I want to make a kind of a shape here. Which I'm just going to fill in. I want to have somewhere. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. I do add a bit of water to this because otherwise it doesn't spread at all. But I want quite a thick. And I want this, I'm going to make just little dot, 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 dot things. That could be trees. And then I'm going to add with my pen, this isn't clean yet, a line. I'm not so good at straight lines, so I'm going to just use this. I should let this dry, but I'm not going to. I want to do this now. Okay, so this is not as straight as it could have been. I want it a little bit thicker. And I think I must wait for the rest to dry so that I can actually get these straight. So I've got it dry now. I actually used the hairdryer, and I've got my ruler because this was looking a bit of a hot mess. If you can draw a straight line, you don't need to do this. I can't, and I want this to be straight. And then there. And I want to color this in just with the pen. You can paint this in gouache. I know many people would. This is a quick fix because I like to do what's easy. And then across and a little bit of those things, and then we're going to do another one, but it will be thinner and lower, just to give the impression that it's further away, because with distance they look thinner and lower. Get my angles right. Having some nice pasta for supper and I'm hungry. And the final one over here is going to be even thinner and lower, much further away, and that can pretend that it's going into there. And then we're going to, we want the wires to be from to there. Whoops, that didn't work so well. I think I haven't got my angles done so well. And off they go. That needs to they need to line up better. Never mind, I'm leaving that like that. I think I will get some splatter over that to kind of hide it, make stars. Now what I want to do is use my smaller brush, and I'm going to use the black gouache again, and I just need it's very thick. I just need it to be thinned down a little bit more. And then I'm basically, well, I want to fill these bits in. And this is not looking so right. And then I want to do little dots that just give texture and the impression of trees and bushes and whatever you can think of, but little dots. To give this silhouette. You could do whatever appeals to you, if you feel like trying to paint a tree or whatever you would like. Just around the edge of the silhouette, and then we can make some stars. So need to make completely sure that the black is all out of the brush. I'm just going to, yeah, it's not. That's better. Then I'm going to wet this here. And make some stars. So I thought I would do a few little actual, didn't want that, drop actual dots with my paintbrush, and then I'm going to do some spatters. So I'm not the world's most successful at spatters. Which way around shall I do this? Like this. I didn't mean them to go onto my black silhouette. Okay. I want them to definitely go around there and cover my mess up. And I would like to get my little white gel pen, but I'm just going to go over this black that I went and spattered over with stars, and we can't have stars in our silhouette, can we? Okay, so just little bits of silhouette there. And there we have our little painting that is done. So let me remove the tape. I should actually put the hairdryer on this quickly. I think I'm going to do that, and then the tape will come off easily. That came off very satisfactorily. I did it, oops. Discarded paper is quite fragile. Going sideways. Oh, we've got some lovely clean edges. Yay! I think that's quite a pretty little painting. Fed up that I got my angles wrong, but it's fairly normal for somebody that can't do maths. So there we have our finished painting. I hope you've enjoyed doing this with me, and I hope you've enjoyed spending time together, and thank you very much for watching, and I wish you well and a wonderful, colourful, artistic, happy week. Bye bye now, see you in the next video.